Consider his accomplishments. He's built a successful $85 million company and one of the premier book printers in the continent. When the accepted wisdom was that a company from a small town in Manitoba would be successful if it did business in Winnipeg, he broke through that thinking and built sales offices all across the continent. He adopted modern manufacturing techniques and created a disciplined and efficient workplace. He's won numerous management awards, scored several printing awards, and is regarded as an elite print shop. These accomplishments alone, I think, would be enough in themselves to cement his reputation. But in my research and in talking to him, I think what's truly unique about David and about Friesens Corporation is not its size nor its success. I think what's unique is the way he's blended the principles of sound management with community giving. David is the third generation of a family with very strong history of community involvement.
You know, printing is all I've ever known. I was born into a printing family. When I was born, and I won't tell you what year it was, or maybe the story did, that my parents and my three older sisters lived in the back of the printing plant. Now there were four, and we had to move out and actually move into a house. When I was in grade school, I spilled my first drawer of California type, and I won't even go into telling you what job drawer of California type is, but it was a big mess that took me a year after school to put it together. And when I was in high school, I used to melt lead to be made into pigs that would go into the linotype machine. So who all knows what a linotype machine is? Okay, I know that some students here don't. So it was not necessarily thought that I had to go into the business, but certainly I wanted to, and have always enjoyed being a printer. I'm proud to be called a printer, and I'm delighted to be able to do printing and to make books. I find it very, very satisfying to make products that change people's lives, and certainly books do that. You know, Philomena talked about how long we've been in Altona and the relationships. One thing came to mind as she said that we're going to be 100 years old next year, and we've only had one bank. Really, one bank. 100 years.
No vacation.
They told us from day one what to do and when to do it. But we've had very good support from them, and they've helped us to do what we wanted to do. I do have to tell you, Philomena, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you to thank you for the article. I thought that reporters didn't like to hear from subjects that they liked the article that might compromise their journalistic integrity. But I do have to tell you two things. One of them is the fish wasn't 65 pounds, it was only 60. And I've never stood over a $10,000 pot. I probably stood over a $10 pot. But things do get embellished just a little bit. I want to tell you how difficult it was for the people in our firm before me to establish the business and to help to grow it. My father used to go to Winnipeg, and the printers there told him to go home because they had plenty of printers in Winnipeg. Then he came to Toronto back in the 30s and asked the cab driver to take him to Etobicoke, commonly called the Tobico. So it's very rude. But it was my uncle who came a few years later to the train station and traveled with his bags from Winnipeg, got off at the station and stepped onto the platform. Cabby came up and said, "King Edward?" "No," my uncle said, "Ted Friesens." So you need to know that working in strange and faraway places can be very difficult. But just to wrap up by telling all of you that what you may have already read in the article, our vision at Friesens is not necessarily to be the biggest, but certainly to be one of the best. We're going to leave the biggest to Remy because I don't have any aspirations to go that big. Although I do have an aspiration to go 100 million, so we've also been for many years an employee health company, which makes us quite different than most others. And so I report not to my family, but to all of my staff, and that makes for some interesting things as well. But that's also been part of the reason that we think that we've done well. So in closing, I want to thank all of you for coming. I want to thank again the sponsors, Graphic Monthly, for bestowing this honor upon me, and I hope that I can live up to it. Thank you very much. I actually wanted a big picture.
Again, thank you very much for coming. There is still plenty of food and drinks. Also, anybody that doesn't have a copy of the Sugar Graphic Monthly, there are ones back at the sort of reception where you came in, plenty of copies. And again, thank you very much for coming.